Good evening, folks. Triple Crown here, coming to you from Vancouver, British Columbia. Well, it's been a long day. Kids playing in the snow. Um, just one of those, long days. Anyways, we are going to conclude it. I'm going to finish up this round, but we are going to declare D-Day a little earlier than expected. I'll just get into it's British's turn on UK 5. So Canada's purchasing 2 infantry, a Sherman, another transport, all their money. Britain's purchasing a fighter, a destroyer, 8 infantry. Anzac is purchasing, I don't have any painted gray, so an escort carrier, a fighter, and a destroyer. Now how D-Day is going to work is we are declaring, can happen in 2 territories, Normandy or Bordeaux. We are attacking Bordeaux because it is an extra space away from Western Germany to attack. So they have to move. Yes, if they build in Western Germany with fast movers, they could hit Normandy the following turn. Germany was caught napping, and I realized this after the fact. This was not intentional. They did build 3 units. They railed with their train units up, and they currently have 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 units in Paris, including the tactical bomber. And this came into the decision, and they have no follow-up. They did build a little bit of a navy. They've got a navy here. However, Britain, there's a reason they're buying a destroyer. They're going to put a blocker down, so that will block 2 ships. So the Russian Navy has made its way across. The Canadian and British Navy is going to come across, but the carrier is going to stay behind. Well, why would the carrier stay behind? And that is because any units that participate in D-Day do not get to go on the next US turn, which is following. So that means the fighters can land in Normandy, Bordeaux, and we need them. We need those fighters to land in Normandy, Bordeaux. So we currently can bring over, we've got 3 transports here, 3 transports here, that's 6. The 2 fighters, and the special part about D-Day was the Mulberry Harbor. So we're going to be building the Mulberry Harbor, which means after we land in D-Day, and it's actually just a walk-on, so that there's actually no dice being rolled on D-Day. But what the exciting part is we get to then use 3 of these transports that were just used and bring over as a non-com 6 additional ground units from over here. And that is why we're doing what we're doing, because of the Mulberry Harbor. So we are catching the Germans napping. So we're just going to go ahead and we're going to do it. This whole Navy's coming across. These 3 transports are coming across. I'm going to now put my camera down so you guys can see. So I'm just going to be filming the D-Day. The Canadians are dropping off. So we're actually giving this to America, this money to America. So the 4 Canadians are coming across with the artillery and armor. And just like on D-Day, the Canadians were actually the first to meet their objective, and they went in further inland than any of the other Allied forces, which is something most Canadians know and are quite proud of. So, like I said, the carrier is going to remain behind. The American Navy's coming up with their 3 transports, and it's a good thing we built them. And we are dropping off 5 infantry and an artillery. So that's 6 and 6. Now we can use 3 of the transports that were just used. We're going to use the Canadians, and we are going to go up here to this sea zone here, 23 or 24. We are going to grab 6 additional British units and come back and drop them off because we had a Mulberry Harbor. So there's a reason we didn't use the carrier, because I wasn't sure how this was going to work if I move the carrier. It's kind of not fair. So we're saying any units that are participating in D-Day, which this would be participating even though the aircraft are not, they would not be able to land in Normandy, Bordeaux the following turn. So they have to wait. So on the following US turn, they are going to come and they are going to land. A little bit cheeky, but that is the best that I can come up with. And because we're going to be placing a British destroyer here, sorry, that's the Anzac, they will be safe. They will be safe from the, they'll be able to block two ships coming through, and yes, if I had done this better, the fighters would have got off the carrier and they would have been over here in New England, and the carrier could have come across and the Brits could have landed on it as a non-com. So, but anyways, folks, I was not thinking, so that is that is how I'm gonna rectify that. So we will then have, we brought over 6 and 6 plus another 6 plus another 2. So that'll be like 20 ground, what? 6 and 6 is 12 plus 6, 18, 20 ground units, including aircraft, defending against 11. So there's no way the Germans are going to attack next turn. We will likely, because it's a combined fleet, we will not be able to take Paris. However, the Germans are now on their heels. They have no choice but to build, especially, which the US is, what they're going to plan to do is they are going to be building more transports in the Atlantic. So that is D-Day in a nutshell, folks. I did not think I was going to be doing it this turn. Just looking at the board, and I could delay it, but I don't think there's a better time. The Germans are just going to reinforce, and we have to get in here, and we have to get in here now. So we're going to flip over. Did I already remove the American roundel? Marseille is American. So we're going to be giving this to the Americans. So this is now American territory. So now, none of these American units can move on the following US turn. Only the units that did not move. So we could attack, we could be attacking Normandy if we wanted to. If say we left a transport behind as like a subsequent follow-up. Anyways, folks, thanks for watching. And who doesn't love D-Day? That is in closing here. D-Day special, because I think most of us, probably one of our what do you call it, a favorite battles of World War II that we all know a lot about and watched more documentaries about D-Day and heard more stories about it. Saving Private Ryan's one of my favorite movies. So thanks for watching, folks, and stay tuned.